before I get into the team.
Fam, what's up? What's up? Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I'm going to let everybody get checked in for a few minutes. So before we start the show, what's up? I appreciate you guys being here. Herman, what's up, man? You're always up in the house, man. That's what's up. Good people right here. Herman, we got Jerry, who has became a fan funder. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for continuing to support the show. We got Kimberly, always up in the house. Thank you so much, Kimberly. You're always giving us the love and support, which we appreciate. Thank you so much. Hey, Kaylin Chillers, what's up? I appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate it. Let everybody get checked in. How the show is going to work tonight is Coach Kalen DeBoer hit the podium. I'm sure you saw the press conference. What I did was I chopped it up, some of the best parts from the press conference. So we're going to talk about the press conference. I'll play it. I'll pause it. I'll provide my observations. I'll ask you for your feedback inside the comment box. And then on the back end of the video, Alabama released some practice highlights. I'll slow it down. I'll stop it. We'll point out some things like we always do. And what we titled this video is what we learned from practice number 4. It seems like Alabama's been practicing for like 3 weeks already, but really it's been 3 weeks with only 4 practices. I know, that's crazy because they had 1 week, then they were on spring break, and this is the 3rd week. So 3 weeks, 4 practices. We have a little bit more to chew on, and I'll let everybody get checked in. How you guys feeling about the basketball game? Basketball game this Friday, Alabama will take on Robert Morris, 2 versus 15. Make sure you get your brackets in. I have one bracket. That's all I'm going to take, as I'm just going to do one bracket. I'm just going to ride or die with that bracket. I don't want to be tracking a bunch of different brackets. It's just I'm going to make a bracket and stick with it. That's it. We got 31 up in the house. Hit the thumbs up and get inside the comment box. Let me know where you're watching from. We'll start the show in just a few minutes. Some of my biggest observations, I'll just go ahead and say it before we start talking about the show and some of the context of the show, was the fact that Coach Kalen DeBoer mentioned that running back room, because I am so curious how they're going to feed all those running backs this season. He mentioned Kevin Riley. We'll play that clip tonight. And then also the other element was talking about Ryan Williams in the slot position. I've been telling you that Ryan Williams is going to play the slot. I'm not surprised to hear that at all. Stanley, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. And the thing is, you put Ryan Williams in the slot, I knew exactly that. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen, and he's going to be so dangerous. Can you imagine trying to match up with Ryan Williams, trying to figure out which corner to put on Ryan Williams, and then you have Isaiah Horton, you have Jeremy Bernard on the other side? The thing is, now that I look to that transfer portal window, man, you have so many different type of slot wide receivers: Cole Adams, Jalen Mbakwe, Rico Scott, right? Those guys are all in that slot position. Adam East says he's been trying to get hyped, but it's just not working. Are you talking about for basketball or for football? All right. So Coach Kalen DeBoer, here's his opening comments from today, practice number 4. And how it's going to work, if you just got in, we're going to play the comments from Coach Kalen DeBoer. I'll pause it. We'll discuss it. So let's get on with the show, starting 3, 2, 1.
Exciting time, I know, for a lot of sports, but in particular our men's and women's basketball team. Just want to congratulate them on great seasons, and I know we're excited about what this weekend and the rest of the month holds for them. We'll be rooting them on. So some great coaches, Coach Curry and Coach Oates, just doing a great job with their team. So today, good practice. Just a lot of work from beginning to end. Second day with shells on, and so saw the physicality ramp up. Good energy coming off of spring break. You always I've seen times over the course of the years where there's a lull. Didn't feel like that was the case at all. Guys were ready to go, and I think having 3 practices before we took the break got their minds on football. I think that's always a big deal. Just keeps them thinking about what they should be working on, focusing on their priorities, and they come back ready to go.
You've seen out of the running backs, and what's Draylen Washington bringing that?
Yeah. It's nice to see that we had some just health issues throughout the season last year. So I'll be honest, there's some times where I'm seeing things for the first time too, with a few of them. So we know what Jam can do. You all know as well, and I've seen a lot of him. He continues to just work, and whether it's in the weight room here in the off season, and then just new quarterback, and do his thing there. Maybe most of the stuff is the same, but even a few little things that we're doing differently just to fit him in the offense. Things that Coach Grubb brings, things that we just want to continue to evolve as we know our personnel better, know what Jam does really well. But the rest of the guys, you brought up Dre. I think he's a little combination of kind of all the guys. Kevin's probably our shiftiest, kind of explosive, guy on the roster. Dre's compact, much like maybe you'd see with Daniel and Rich, but got some shiftiness to him. Like his mindset, he just comes here ready to work. He knows he's got a lot to learn, and focused on what he can control.
All right, that was Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about the running backs. Is the stream working okay? I don't see I can't find it on my phone. It says like it's not even live. Are we live? Is this live? Remember that when we were like live? Look, Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about the running back rooms. I like it, and that's one of the biggest questions for me is like how is he going to utilize the running backs this year? And I think clearly the 1-2 punch is going to be Jam Miller and Richard Young, and then after that, how are these guys going to get on the field? I don't know. Coach Kalen DeBoer clearly talking about the fact that the season is a gauntlet, right? We got a super chat in here, which I appreciate from Todd. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. That's what's up. And I feel that, look, Jam can be a featured back. Richard could be a featured back. Don't know too much about Draylen Washington other than what Coach Kalen DeBoer is talking about right here. But Daniel Hill, I love that he mentioned Kevin Riley. Didn't say A.K. Deer. I don't think he meant that on purpose. It's just like there's 6 running backs to talk about. How will those guys be utilized this year? I love the running back room. I really do. Do I think one's going to hit the transfer portal? I kind of think so. Unfortunately, I just think there's too many mouths to feed, and I think somebody's going to tamper with this room. I think that and the wide receiver room. Do you think, inside the comment box, that someone from the running back room will hit the transfer portal? I kind of think somebody will. I hope it. I don't like to think about it, but that's just the reality of it. But that's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about the running back room, like what he said about Kevin Riley specifically, being that he's the shiftiest guy that they had. Jam Miller, compact. Dre, compact. Daniel Hill, big, imposing, right? I think Richard Young, probably impactful and powerful back. We continue with Coach Kalen DeBoer.
Wide receivers. What have you seen from the two freshmen, Lachie Brooks and Derek Meadows?
Yeah, Derek, when you look at him out there, you pick him out anywhere, right? He's long and has a presence about him. Saw a one-on-one rep today that was really neat to see him use his body. Sometimes guys that are like that, they got that presence, but they don't use it, and he used it. Really got a long wingspan, so just get the ball in the vicinity and he'll come down with it. Latsier is really explosive, and they both got a lot to learn when it comes to just feeling comfortable in the offense, and when that happens, then being quarterback friendly and being where you're supposed to be, and especially on time. But Latsier's got some of those instincts. Sometimes it's hard to find guys. It's not hard to find him. and he can finish those plays. When a ball's in the air, he can get that little burst to get underneath of it. Those ones that are just off the fingertips, it seems like he's finding a way to haul them in, and got that little extra juice and can make good out of body, outside the body type of catches. So really like what we see early on with those two guys.
All right, that was Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about Lazier Brooks and Derek Meadows. I looked up the official pronunciation on Roll Tide, and it says Lazier Brooks. Coach was saying Lazier Brooks. I was saying that earlier. Whoever. Look, number 17, Lazier Brooks. The guy is an absolute baller, turning heads. It was good to hear about Derek Meadows as well, being one of the lengthier guys, the tallest wide receiver in that room, making a play today in one-on-one coverage or whatever Coach Kalen DeBoer saw. When I think about Lazier Brooks, he's a slot wide receiver. Slot is the third inside wide receiver that you can move around that creates mismatches. Well, who's playing slot this year for Alabama? That is none other than Ryan Williams, and he'll talk about that in just a second. So when I look at all those wide receivers, how are they going to utilize them? There's so many weapons to get the football to. I also think maybe Jalen Hell be on the outside. Maybe Jalen Mbakwe will be an outside wide receiver, maybe behind Jeremy Bernard. I could see that possibly, but I think Cole Adams, Lazier Brooks, those are your slot-type wide receivers. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about Ryan Williams.
With the wide receiver, go ahead.
With the way that the coaching staff is set up with Ryan and Kane, just as coordinator.
Oh, my bad. He's going to talk about the coaching staff right now and kind of the continuity now that Ryan Grubb has been added.
Roles. How's that been impactful through this part of spring practice, and what's been your assessment of how the entire coaching staff has come together?
Yeah, no, good question. And with the rules last year, Kane, really the whole season, we had Chuck Morrell coaching the linebackers. We just didn't make it publicly known until after the season. So Kane is kind of operating the same as he did last year. One thing I think he is doing more of is getting around. He really trusts Coach Morrell, Chuck Morrell, in the linebacker room, and he'll still have a presence there. A lot of the calls go through the linebackers, but he's had a really good chance to get around to the defensive backs, the guys up front, and I really like that. Make sure everyone's on the same page, the same messages are coming across. And then, with Ryan, I think he's still right now spending most of his time with the skill positions around the quarterbacks. He's a believer, just like I am, that if you're play caller, definitely got to be locked on arms and in sync with your quarterback. And so they're still around each other a lot. Nick's doing a great job coaching up the quarterbacks, has that rapport with them, as you'd guess from being around all year. But I think there'll come a point in time where Ryan can see kind of everything too. So it's really gone well here through the first couple weeks.
One of the things that Coach Ryan Grubb talked about interview a couple weeks ago is the fact that while he is the offensive coordinator, he's going to be able to bounce around like Coach Kalen DeBoer said. He said that specifically he's going to be focused on the quarterback room. I've said many times openly, I felt like here at the University of Alabama, the quarterbacks haven't had somebody that can help them develop. So now that you have Nick Sheridan, Ryan Grubb, Coach Kalen DeBoer, helping those guys elevate, and what a perfect time to do it now when you do have three quarterbacks that are new guys, right? And I can't wait to see how those guys develop over time and really develop into whatever type of spring game this is. Look, I'm hearing really good things about Austin Mack. I mean, today was the first time after practice, spoke to a couple people, and, Austin Mack is making some good plays as well. So you have three quarterbacks. I think it's a very highly contested quarterback race. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking. I think this is where he starts to talk about the continuity of the staff.
That's a follow-up question.
Sorry, I'll get you.
In that same light, moving into a second year with the coaching staff, how much of a step forward can the group collectively take, and what have you seen that's giving you confidence that the staff is moving forward?
Well, continuity is huge, right? Continuity with your staff, because now you're not teaching your staff new concepts and the techniques and the things that we want to do, or even just not even related to football, just how the logistical things that we recruiting and all that. We just keep moving forward. We evolve. We adjust based on what we feel we need to areas we need to grow. And so that continuity is really key. Even Jason Jones, he knows the defense. He was with Kane Womack at Indiana there, and so him sliding in was really easy, and that wasn't the reason why we hired him. We really it just worked out that way, and he was a great coach first and foremost, and then just that familiarity with our defense has just been a really smooth transition. So for us, the continuity is really key, because now we can take the next steps with all of our guys, and we know our personnel, and we're not having to relearn things. Ryan Grubb's really the only one that's had to get up to speed, and he's poured into the film and watched all of our season, I know, more than once, and understands what our guys are capable of and what we've learned from year one.
That's probably the biggest. Actually, rewatching this with you all, that is the biggest soundbite. What he just said right there, it is. Because the only coach that's really had to get caught up to speed is Ryan Grubb. And Ryan Grubb isn't getting caught up to speed. He's bringing more to Alabama, right? And when you have Jason Jones, who already has that continuity, being that he worked with Coach Kane Womack, and that you had Chuck Morrell, who was already the inside linebacker coach last year, you have the entire staff, right, assembled. You're in. So think about this. What's up, Nicole? I see you inside the comment box. You have the entire coaching staff set and already experienced going into year two. Compare this coaching staff and where we're at right now compared to last year. And I've been critical of Coach Kalen DeBoer at times, right? I say it how it is. Seriously, this is a reason to be excited. The foundation is set. The tracks are already laid. And the only person that's being really brought in is probably the best coach that Coach Kalen DeBoer has, which is Ryan Grubb. I love that soundbite right there. Re-listening to it, I think it really gives you an idea of that coaching staff is here. Things are solidified. Let's go. I love that quote. We continue with Coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference.
Going back to wide receivers, how has Cole Adams looked coming off of the injury, and who else in the receiver room is a real natural fit for the slot the way Cole seems to be?
Mm-hmm. All right, so right here, before Coach Kalen DeBoer starts talking about the slot position, this made my ears perk up earlier when he was talking about the slot position, because you have Isaiah Horton, who they brought in from Miami, a bigger wide receiver on the outside, a guy that can stretch the field, 6'4". You have Jeremy Bernard, who I consider a little bit more than a possession wide receiver. Doesn't have like elite speed, but clearly he's fast. He's a wide receiver. But then you have Ryan Williams. You put him on the inside, that slot position. Tomorrow on my show, I'll have a graphic up and show you where those wide receivers will fit. Ryan Williams, I've already thought that he's going to be at the slot position. That is deadly. Having Ryan Williams at the slot is deadly. Now you can get him, he's really good on deep routes, of course, but now you can start to get him in that intermediate passing game, start to work him all over, causing mismatches. That is dangerous. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about that slot position. Also mentions Cole Adams. I don't think he mentions Rico Scott in here. Talks about Lazier Brooks, but those are the slot position wide receivers. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about the slot position.
Yeah, I think we have a number of things that we can do. Cole, first of all, to answer your question, easing into things, the slot is definitely his spot. He feels the most comfortable. He's always, when I talk about quarterback friendly, he's that guy that is friendly with the quarterback in the right place, a heady guy, going to make the catches that are there for him, be consistent that way. And, just working in, kind of, building on what he did last fall before he got hurt. One thing in the slot that bringing in like an Isaiah Horton and having more length on the outside now with Jalen Hale too has allowed Ryan to move around different spots. Between he and Germ and really I think Isaiah could play maybe not the slot all the time, but these guys are very versatile. They kind of have their starting points, but we can move around, and I think that is really what we like to do because we want to have a very unpredictable offense, and so certain guys in certain spots don't carry over from week to week, and we can utilize their strengths still.
Is Brooks a natural slot?
Yeah, I would say he's that's his starting point right there is in the slot. You know, you think right away, get the ball to him and let him do his thing, but he's really good down the field too. Has really good body control, can win on defenders, you know, down the field, not just in, you know, the first couple of yards and when he's got the ball in his hands. So been really impressed with him.
All right, so that's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about the weapons and the arsenal that he has and the starting points. Basically, the starting points, what that meant to me is where does the guy naturally fit as a wide receiver? Isaiah Horton on the outside, Jeremy Bernard on the outside. Ryan Williams is so versatile. He could play slot, the outside. Lazier Brooks' starting position is a slot wide receiver. Same thing with Cole Adams. I saw inside the comment box a lot of people talking about Kendrick Law and what he said. We talked about that today on our morning show. Kendrick Law, basically, who's now at Kentucky, said that he went on and did an official interview with Kentucky, like the way that they do Alabama football videos. And he's like, I'm the type of player that needs to be moved around to get the football. Basically, he was throwing shade at Alabama and how they didn't utilize him and how he felt last season. He also said that the strength and conditioning program will allow him to perform better as opposed to here. So he was throwing shade. Clearly, he was upset with how Alabama, didn't use him. We went back and forth today talking about the fact that, man, we don't even remember the wide receivers that were here, and that's like no disrespect to them, but Alabama didn't miss a beat. I mean, think about all the wide receivers that are in this room. Where would Kendrick Law even play right now, right? I think he's a really good wide receiver, and I don't know if he'll be the featured wide receiver at Kentucky, but, man, like I liked Kobe Prentice. I liked Kendrick Law. I liked, the other wide receivers who left, but they got replaced. That's just how it is here at Alabama. So I don't know. I mean, he's mad. He's upset. Hopefully he can get the football this year, but I don't even really think about Kendrick Law anymore. I've been talking about these other guys, and, it was a soundbite that I did see, but I don't know. Things are moving really fast over here, specifically at the wide receiver position, which is probably Alabama's strongest position overall at this point in time. We continue with Coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference from today.
Coach, what have you seen from the specials?
Yeah, they've been pleased so far. I think Connors, last fall you could kind of see him continue to gain confidence. I think it was great that he got out there, whether it was just to kick off. That was an important role, and he did a really good job, I thought, most of the time. Got better as the season went along, and I think that's just carried over into being more consistent than what I remember him seeing for sure last spring, but also more consistent from last fall. So he's doing a good job of getting the ball up quick on the field goals, and I think just really in control. I really haven't seen him have like a bad kick. You're not going to be 100%, but it's not like there's just ones where'd that come from, so he's doing a really good job there. And then, there's a number of guys working with the long snapping, and then, with Alex being hurt, we don't have our full group of punters, but, like what I see there, Burnup's going to be really tough to replace. I don't know if there's another Burnup, right now. Just because he's different, I mean, he's the best I've ever been around when it comes to punters. And so, we were towards the top in the country for a reason, there's schematic things, but there's also just the guy kicking the football. So we got to continue to do a good job with our punting, but also do a good job with just our coverage units and just execution there.
Yeah, I love that, because I've been wondering about the special teams myself. I mean, that's an area, even the media who has these small windows to see practice, they don't show special teams. I mean, when I used to go over there, you don't see special teams. You're replacing Nicholson, the Lou Groza Award from a couple seasons ago. You're trying to replace James Burnip. You don't replace those type of guys. You insert new guys and hope that they are up to par. I think this is probably, we always talk about right tackle, or this or that. It might be the most concerning thing about this entire team right now is how are the specialists going to fare in a schedule as challenging as this is. You have a new snapper, you have a new kicker, you have a new punter. The common football fan doesn't care about special teams. They don't understand how important that is. If Alabama doesn't have an A+ special teams or even like a B+, it's going to be ultra challenging for this team to accomplish their ultimate goals. Now, he just gave positive praise to Connor Talty, the kicker. In terms of the punter, I don't know. It seems like Coach Kalen DeBoer is still waiting to see some things in that area as well. We continue.
What have you seen from Wilkin Formby? And then also, just how do you balance maybe getting people different reps on the offensive line, or focusing them on the position?
Mm-hmm.
Could you put him at left tackle, or are you going to focus more on right tackle where he's probably going to play?
Yeah, he's been mostly at right tackle. It's not a big deal, but he was sick for a couple of days in there, so didn't missed a couple practices. Allowed other guys to get some reps, which was really good because we're going to need those guys too. Some young bodies in there on the offensive line. But he was back out there today. I thought what stood out to me the first practice in particular, and I believe he was the first two actually. Is his leadership, and just I'm encouraging that out of him. He's, taking the next step, being just more aggressive that way, which I think then carries over to just confidence and play on the football field. But, he's out there, making the calls with confidence. It starts with Parker, works its way out. And, that right side now is kind of the veteran side with he and J-Rob and then Parker, at center. So, like what he brings, and he's had a good offseason in the weight room.
How is that?
Go ahead.
Say, how is that left guard spot looking right now?
Yeah, a few different guys rotating. Gino, has to take snaps at center along with playing guard. He's versatile that way, and we're going to take advantage of that. So we want to have him be able to compete at the interior spots, but also make sure we got a center ready to go too there, and a guy that can take the reps with the twos with him. And then Dewberry has done a nice job. You can see him coming along every day, getting more and more comfortable. It takes time for those guys from communication on to trust and execution. And been a few different tackle bodies in there with Caden being out, too. So it's been a little bit of a kind of a, by committee type of situation there on the left side here through the first couple practices.
I think we'll get to the footage next, but I think in closing with Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about the offensive line, I mean, they practiced 4 days. Wilkin Formby's been sick. Caden Proctor's limited. So we don't know the true offensive line yet. I think what we know is that Cam Dewberry's fighting for a guard position. Gino Vandermark is a quality reserve type player. Jaden Roberts is good. He'll be back. You have Parker Brailsford. So right now we have, like, if Alabama was to play a game this Saturday, who knows who would be on the offensive line. By the time they get to this Frankenstein spring game or whatever, it'll be a little bit more solidified. And then when we get to the season, we'll understand, like, who the offensive line is going to be. I'm more curious to see, like, who are the twos behind Wilkin Formby and Caden Proctor. But right now, I think, they just started practice and they're mixing and matching guys. Let's look at some footage. This is courtesy of the University of Alabama. Same thing with the press conference. Start out with some quarterback footage right here. Let me know, when you're watching this film, what stands out to you? I mean, here's the quarterbacks, doing this drill where they go underneath this mechanism right here and working on some foot drill. One thing that Coach Kalen DeBoer has talked about is the fact that each of these quarterbacks does have athleticism. I think sometimes you think, like, just because Jalen Milroe left, you don't have a quarterback that can pick up 11 yards if he had to. No, each of the quarterbacks is capable to do that. They might not have the top-end speed of Jalen Milroe, but the guys are certainly athletic enough. This is Keelan Russell right here, number 12. He's going to be handing it off to a running back. I think this is probably a walk-on running back right there. You have this number 28, that is Kevin Riley. And Coach was talking about Kevin Riley today in the running back room. And, we're when we look to these running backs, we don't talk often enough about Kevin Riley because this will be his second year. But Kevin Riley is right here out of Northport, right? Tuscaloosa County High School. And Coach Kalen DeBoer said that he's one of the shiftiest running backs that they have. Here's Keelan Russell right here handing it off. This number 4 is Daniel Hill. Daniel Hill, you look at the roster. He's 240 pounds. Every single time we look at him, I'm like, man, where is it? Right? Probably all in the legs. Do you want to tackle him? This official back here is just kind of admiring as well. So you look to, a running back like that and how he's getting utilized. That's Ty Simpson handing the football off to Kevin Riley. Watch his little shake that he has right here. That's kind of that shiftiness that he has, and that's probably his strong suit. Number 20, this is Dre Washington. Dre Washington is a transfer in, 5'9", 220 pounds. Coach Kalen DeBoer talked about him being a compact type running back. I don't know. We've been talking, is this going to be running back number 3? Is he going to be running back number 4? I don't know. He looks pretty good to me. Keelan Russell, there's number 9 back in there. Richard Young, this is A.K. Deer, number 0, a guy that I think is an all-purpose running back. What we have here is footage of the quarterbacks throwing the football. It's not a large sample size by any stretch of the imagination, but they're throwing maybe 15 yards out to the right. You'll see it right here. So here's Ty Simpson, little 3-step drop, gets to the far side. That's to a tight end that is just to Josh Cuevas, turns it upfield. Second quarterback in the video is Austin Mack, sets his feet, throws it out to another tight end, and let's pause it right there and see who number 18 is, just so we could double check on that. Number 18, I figured that was Marshall Pritchett. Let's rewind that real quick and look at this. What I'm looking at is after this Ty Simpson throw, this is going to be to tight end Josh Cuevas, who is number 80, right? Catch, tuck, turn up field. And then on this next clip, you have Austin Mack, who is going to be throwing to number 18, who is Marshall Pritchett. So good ball, good velocity, gets it to the outside. Keelan Russell, he's going to get the football, draws back, throws a pass over to number 88. And let's just double check on the tight ends. Numbers. Number 88 is going to be Jay Lindsey, who enters his second year at the University of Alabama. Ty Simpson sets his feet, throws it out. Another tight end connection right there. Number 86. Let's see. That is Peter Knudsen, 6'4", 246 pounds. You have some wide receiver drills right here. Remember, we'll keep our eyes and ears looked on, these guys right here. Number 11, that is Rico Scott. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer overseeing the wide receivers as they get through their warm-ups. Number 7 is Cole Adams, somebody who we are really excited about coming back this season. I mean, the guy battled a few injuries last year, plays at that slot position, super talented. This is Rico Scott right here, another guy who I'm really excited about. And then you have Jeremy Bernard right here, number 5, a veteran, if you will. Had a big year. That's Ryan Williams. Man, Ryan Williams looks so good. And number 1, that's Isaiah Horton. So look, for those of you out there, and I just saw a comment inside the comment box that was talking that Ryan Williams isn't going to play in the slot. Yo, you're tripping. Yeah, he is. Isaiah Horton came here to start, period. Jeremy Bernard returned to start, period. Okay? Ryan Williams, he's going to start, period. That is 3 starting wide receivers. There's no doubt about it. There's no battle at the wide receiver. There's battles underneath for other guys to get playing time, but those are your 3 starters, 1,000,000%. After that, I don't know. There's a handful of guys that can be that 4th wide receiver. Jalen Hell's one of them. He'll probably be behind Isaiah Horton or Jeremy Bernard, right? Lazier Brooks is turning heads. Haven't seen too much about Jalen Mbakwe. We all know how talented he is. Bubba Hampton's injured. Rico Scott clearly looks good. Those are the guys fighting for that next wave. But the 3 starters, I promise you, are Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams at the slot or moving him around, and then Jeremy Bernard. Okay? So you can get mad if you want to and pretend that, other guys are going to start. That's not going to be the case. Those are going to be your starters at wide receiver. We know that. Josh, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here inside the comment box. Michael, man, I'm glad you were able to find the live. I wanted to come back and kind of chop up some of this footage. So we're looking at some footage, chopping it up. This is courtesy of the University of Alabama. This is another shot of Jeremy Bernard right here, number 5. And then you're going to see Ryan Williams, Hollywood. Hollywood looks so nice. And then Isaiah Horton, 1, 2, 3. Bam, bam, bam. Right, Patriot Life, what's up, man? Hope you had a good birthday yesterday. Here's the tight ends. Coach said that, tight end room a little bit light right now, so he's looking at the tight end depth. We'll see how that goes, and let's see what else we got right here. Oh, offensive line. Number 72 right here, clearly that is Parker Brailsford. And as I just spoke about, there's a lot of guys that, are out or limited, so guys are getting reps at different positions right now. Number 77 right here, clearly that is Jaden Roberts, who returns. And then number 75 right here, this is Wilkin Formby. I mean, think about this. Wilkin Formby, 6'7", 322 pounds. And number 77 is Jaden Roberts, 6'5", 325 pounds, right? If these guys can't move the line and open up some stuff, damn, Cam Dewberry, I would like that little pop right here. Watch this coming up from 71. 71, coming up in just a few clips, is Cam Dewberry, who transferred in from Texas A&M. I would imagine that Cam Dewberry is going to make a push to start at that guard position. Here he is right here. Man, he's moving. There's no chance he plays tackle, but at that guard position, he looks nice. Number 50 right here, that is Casey Poe. So, yeah, the offensive line is fun to watch at this point in time as these guys start to play all over the field. 78 right here, and 55. Let's just double check those numbers. Make sure we get it right. Number 55, that is Rock Montgomery, and then 77, who was also actually, let's see who that was. Let's rewind just a little bit. Oh, that was 78. 78 right here. That is Jackson Lloyd. Think about this. Jackson Lloyd is just a freshman. And Jackson Lloyd is 6'7", 310 pounds, right? Coaches have been talking, giving him high praise. I think after some of those other key freshmen we've been talking about, I think that Jackson Lloyd has been having a really strong first 4 days of spring football. Another shot right here of Cam Dewberry. This is Nick Sheridan, Alabama's quarterback coach, working with the quarterbacks right here. You got number 18, that is Bray, chop your feet. Hubbard, looks good, looks crisp. He looks a little bit more lean, right? And then number 13, this is Ivan Taylor. Ivan Taylor looks good. Each of these guys do. And you look to, that was Xavier Brown, number 2. This is Red Morgan, number 16. Number 5, that's Dejon Lee, number 9. This is Cam Calhoun. I'm telling you, the secondary, they are ultra talented, 100%. Super excited. The coach working with them is Mo Lindquist. That number 2 was Xavier Brown again. Number 16, that's Red Morgan. Number 36, just want to make sure we double check on this. This is QB Reese. Right? So QB Reese, I think he's entering his second year now at that inside linebacker position. So when you look at some of those veterans, at the inside linebacker room, he's a guy who's relatively new and will get more opportunities this year. This is Abdul Sanders, number 35. Haven't really heard anything about Michael Carroll, Chris from New Jersey. Not yet. Just that, he's coming along. Number 8, man, he looks fantastic. I think number 8, I want to say, is Justin Hill. Do you see that? Look at I'm telling you. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Cam Latu when he first got here. Man, look how well he's moving. Whoa, that is impressive, right? Justin Hill, man, oh man. That might be one of my favorite highlights of this whole tape. And then you have Quay Russell right here, number 4, man. So the defense is here. The defense is something to get excited about. Guys hitting the bags right here, working with Freddie Roach over here. And we've talked about new guys starting to step up, like a Jeremiah Beeman, Tim Keenan right here, number 96, a true veteran. Man, I like this footage. Number 11, Jordan Renard, putting in the work. So, that's the footage from today. So I wanted to come on and just, go over that footage today and kind of point out a couple of observations that stood out to me. If you like the footage, if you like the content, give me a thumbs up and get inside the comment box. Let me know what stood out to you as we go over that. Yeah, Jamarcus, number 8, man. Justin Hill looks absolutely nice on the defensive side for just getting here. Him and Jackson Lloyd, some additional freshmen like we've been talking about that have certainly stood out. Fam, I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video from practice number 4. Video courtesy of the University of Alabama. As news drops, I got you covered right here on Bama Football. We're on all platforms. We also upload stuff to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts if you're into the podcast, but everything right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I'm an independent content creator, so ways to support. You can become a fan funder, which we really appreciate. You could also hit us up on Venmo and Cash App, if you want to send like a tip or something like that. But other than that, just being here means enough. So drop a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. As news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll show you my bracket. We'll go over some bracketology as we get geared up for Alabama's first-round matchup against Robert Morris on Friday. Sleep well. Say your prayers. Be good people. Stay where your feet are at. Enjoy this beautiful thing we got called life. And we will talk soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Love you, fam. See ya. Good night.